This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, discounted prices, miniaturemarket.com.
Hello my friends, the Game Boy Geek here. Well, today we're going to Europe, but we're going to be checking out some different things. You see, Royals is a Euro game that came out from originally Abacus Spiel, but recently just got reprinted in the Dice Tower Essentials line from Arcane Wonders. This is an area control game for 2 to 5 players. And today I'm going to show you all the differences between the first edition, that was only available in Europe, from what I know, and then this edition that's going to be much more widely distributed. So let me show you the differences. Now here's a comparison of the box covers, the first version and the second version. Now a lot of people complain that this looked boring, although I kind of really liked having the assassin holding the intrigue card, getting ready to come down and kill the king. This obviously is a lot more colorful, a lot more modern looking. The artwork is probably better, but it's going to be a lot of personal preference items. I actually like both covers in this case. Now let's look at the noblemen, the cards here. The old version's on the bottom, the new version's on the top. And in this case, I really like the new artwork a lot better. It's a lot crisp, it's a lot more realistic looking, it doesn't look as cartoony. And I definitely like the look of this better, the text is larger, and so on and so forth. So yeah, the new version I like here a lot better. Here's just a look at the last 3 noblemen. Edition 1, the newer edition 2, and again, same comment as I really like the new edition, text and graphics here better. Now here's the difference in the intrigue cards, first edition, second edition. I really like the idea of having a note with the knife with the blood on it, nice touch. These are really close, the shields are a little bit bigger here, they're a little bit more sparkly, a little bit more interesting things done with the artwork. They look close, but I still think, again, second edition's better here. Here's a difference of the country cards. And again, the shields are just bigger. They're a little bit more colorful, sparkly. I really like the R for Royals and the purple royal color. These are sort of more muted tones, definitely more bland and boring looking. These ones really jump off. So again, the nod to the new version here. Now here, if you look at the different boards, the new version put the strongest to lowest top to bottom, where these are sort of mix-matched all over the place. So I always thought this was weird that they put the different scoring in different ways. They did it the right way here in the new version, doing it top to bottom, most powerful to least powerful. So again, another nod to the new version there. Now here's a look, obviously, at the German for the old and the new version. Now obviously the new version has just this amazing artwork, a lot more colors that just pop off the board. But I've got to say, some people say that this old map looks boring, and I guess it does. But for playing's sake, this one seems a lot cleaner. This has a lot more going on, it's a lot busier, and as you start loading cubes around and killing people, this one is easier to look up and see who is where this one, the colors all sort of go together because it is so colorful that it almost makes it harder to look up and quickly glance who is where. So in this one, even though this looks a little more boring, for a play standpoint, I actually like this one better. Now here's also something that I like better in the older version is they had one spot here. It had the bonus token, and when you first went there, the bonus token went away, and this same spot was the cathedral. Here, they have a bonus token here, and a separate cathedral here for no reason. Because once this is gone and a player gets killed, they could easily just move into that one spot. What this did is it made everything take up more room. It made it take up, make things closer together, and that's part of why it's so hard to grasp some of this, is because there's an additional spot here that doesn't need to be here. This is actually more streamlined than this and a little bit cleaner look. So I actually like that they used this as opposed to adding another spot that didn't really need to be there. Now here's one of the biggest play differences where they rebalanced it. Britain is very different. It used to just have one player in this city of London with the king, and then 2 others in 2 cities, where now they actually put a cardinal in with the king, and the values changed. The cardinal's normally 5 and 2, but they made them 5 and 3 here. Also in Dublin, they changed it as well, where you had you have a 3 and a 1 and a 4 and a 2, where before you had a 4 and a 1 and a 5 and a 2, and up here it's a 4 and a 1 and a 6 and a 2, where there's a 3 and a 1 and a 6 and a 2. So they did some balancing. They felt that the king was too powerful. Personally, I actually liked that aspect of this because it made it feel like it was really hard to win the king, but if you did, you had a ton of power and people would really gun for that king and fight over it quite a bit. This did make it more balanced, but I actually liked it better when it wasn't as balanced. Now to help balance that, they actually added 3 cards in Britain. The new version has 25, the old version has 22, and that's probably just because they needed more cards because there's no more spots, so they had to rebalance the cards too. And they also changed the length of the rounds. This is the first edition, this is the second edition. If you look at the same player counts, let's say 3 players, they got rid of 9, 8, 7, and 6, and they're getting rid of 6, 5, 5, and 4 if you follow the countries are in different order. So they actually took out less cards, which makes the rounds just a little bit longer as well in the new version. Well, I hope that helped you piece together the differences of this. Now, as you can tell as I went through this, the first half of all the things I showed you, the artwork, on the nobles, the cards, and all that such a thing, oh man, I really love the new version. Everything pops more, everything looks better. But as I started to transition to gameplay and the map, the board itself, there was that spot on the board that I liked better in the new version, where they actually put the countries in order of power. But as you can see, I'm torn here because half the things I like the new version better and half the things I like the old version better. Yes, the old map looked kind of, old and boring and bland, and the new map just pops with all these vibrant colors and interesting artwork. But again, it busies up the board, and when you have tons of cubes of different colors going all over different places and all these different beautiful palettes, it gets very busy. It gets really hard to just glance and see what's what. You really have to work hard to stare where things are. I also don't know why they put that extra cathedral in on the new board. All it does is make it more busy. It makes it more congested. It makes it harder to see what things are. Where the first board was actually more elegant in that regard, where it held the bonus points and it doubled as the cathedral, which allowed it to be a little bit more clean to look at. So I love the artwork of the new version, but the board just seems a little bit too cluttered versus the old one. The rebalancing. I don't feel all games have to be balanced. And obviously they re-implemented the entire country of Britain there to rebalance. The King of London was too powerful. They added some more things. They changed some of the values, as I showed you, for the Cardinal and some of the other ones. And they've added a few cards to help balance that out. And I understand why they did it, because they wanted the game to be more balanced. So for those of you that like a more balanced game no matter what, that's great. But I'm not in favor that everything always has to be balanced. I kind of liked having that King of London be so powerful. Are you really going to go after it? Because if you do, it's big points, but you're going to need to really focus on it. But if you do, you've got the law of the land there almostly. And I really actually liked that better than have it be more balanced. I liked it being so different from all the other countries, personally. Now, I know some people are going to like the balance better. So overall, I'm really 50-50 here. I know this is hard to say, but again, half the stuff I really love for the new version, but the gameplay and the board, even though the colors are better, I still like the older version better. So I'm not quite sure which one I'm going to keep right now, honestly. I'm probably going to have to play both of them a few more times before I decide and set it on one. For now, I'm going to keep both, and we'll see what happens here. We'll play it a few times. But there's all the differences. I hope this helped you make a decision. Now, if you don't have Royals, well, this is probably going to be the version you'll be able to get at least more widely, so obviously get that one. If you already have Royals, do you need this new one? Well, if you're really in love with the artwork and you don't mind the differences in the play of London, then go ahead and get it. But otherwise, this is really for people that haven't yet been able to experience it, and that's always a good thing, so I'm glad it came out, and that's the difference of Royals.
This video was sponsored by Miniature Market's Review Corner. The Review Corner features podcasts, video, and written game reviews by gamers for gamers. Miniature Market, the online gaming superstore. Thousands of board games, discounted prices. Check them out at miniaturemarket.com. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for backing me on Kickstarter, making this season become a reality. I'd like to especially thank those here that have backed me at the credit level. Now, these video reviews are also available by audio on our podcast. It's the intros and the final thoughts on GameBoyGeek.com. Click podcast.